everyone, and happy Homebrew Wednesday. How are you? It seems like forever since I've done a Homebrew Wednesday. Things have just been mad crazy here. What's been going on? I think last Homebrew Wednesday, I don't even remember. I would have to go look back, see what I was talking about. But since then, I know I have brewed some beers that I haven't shared with you, and I'll go ahead and get to those in a second. But first, let's go ahead and crack this guy open. Can't have a Homebrew Wednesday without a homebrew. This is a pale ale brewed with apples by none other than Sticky Tentacles. So let's go ahead and get this one cracked open. 4.4%, brewed November 20th last year. Alright. I've been telling him I'm going to get to this one, but just every weekend just sort of catches up with me, and I've been trying not to drink so much lately. Alright, I see some yeasties popping up there on the bottom. Let's go ahead and just get this one. It was already, I don't think it's ever really cleared up, but let's go ahead. Get the aroma. Kind of like a nice green apple. It's like apple cider. It's almost like it's not a sizer, and it's not honey and beer. Anyways, cheers. Thanks a lot, Sticky Tentacles. Okay. Huh. That is strange. Strange in a good way. I can't say 100% that it's beer, actually. It tastes like a cider, and I get like some spicy notes like cinnamon, and just a hint of malt and sweetness. But just a hint. It's like a back note. Anyways, thanks a lot, Sticky. I really appreciate it. Homebrew Wednesday. Let's see. If I go back a couple months ago, we had a local get-together, just a guys' weekend, and had an opportunity to present how beer is made to all of my group of friends here that I hang out with locally in this community, friends of mine, friends of the children's friends, you know, the parents of the children's friends and stuff like that, people that we see all the time. Just the guys though, you know, just the fathers. We got together and had a great time, had a great presentation, and then had some fun and games afterwards. It was really, really cool. And man, that seems like it was like months ago. Probably was. I've just been working so hard trying to get the water video done. So first let me say thank you very much for a tremendous amount of support for the people who have watched that and gave me feedback on that. I really truly hope that that helps understand water a little bit better. There's more that's coming in terms of all of the sort of aspects of the tools that are out there, all the spreadsheets, to sort of key you in on the key things about how to use them ideally, and then so that you can sort of, regardless of which one that you're going to use, you can see how to use that one specifically to get the same results across them all, or at least in the ballpark. They're all slightly different, and I want to sort of explain how they're different. So I'll get to that in the next number 3, introduction to water video number 3. Let's see, I have brewed some beers since then. I brewed an Oktoberfest, which turned out really nice. I brewed a Little Bastard, which is a lighter ABV version of the ABA. I wanted that ABA taste, but I wanted a lighter ABV version of it, so I did one of those. I did another supercharger before that, I think, before the others, and still got some of that on tap. And then I also did an all Citra IPA as well, and I split off and did sort of a 2-batch, 2 different yeasts. I did the Y yeast 1318 in one, and then did a Imperial Loki. I think it's A43. It's a Norwegian Kvike strain anyways, and both of them turned out really well. For the guys' party, I actually had pumpkin ale, the last of the pumpkin ale that went, and then I also had the Oktoberfest. I had a version of the Little Bastard, and I also had the YE's 1318 version of the Citra IPA. I still have quite a bit left in the keg from the Loki yeast, which actually I prefer. I think that actually is tasting better than the YE's 1318, but you know, they're pretty close. It's really, really nice, but I think the Loki's just a little bit drier, a little bit cleaner. Let me go ahead and actually share those with you. Also, oh, one thing before we go even further is the stout, the oatmeal stout that I brewed up with Andrew. Yeah, that turned out okay. Wasn't fantastic, nowhere near as chocolatey as after putting in the powdered chocolate, the cocoa powder, in at the end of the boil. That was just like hot chocolate, you know, sweet hot chocolate. But not anymore. You know, after fermentation goes on, it gets drier. Most of that chocolate was gone, so now it's just a pretty clean base oatmeal stout, which I'm not disappointed with. I think it's actually kind of nice to have something that's just sort of a base, and then when I do the next oatmeal stout, and I want to take it like a step further, whether I'll oak it or whether I'll flavor it in some way, shape, or form, at least I'll know where to go from with that base. And I may not even stay with that base. Most of it was based on oatmeal stout recipe, the BN collab actually, with small modifications. I didn't have the dark chocolate malt that they wanted. I only had half of the dark chocolate malt, and I had to substitute half of it with pale chocolate, and it didn't come out as complex as I was hoping. And so yeah, so I'll probably change that up next time. Make sure I go with the darker roast of chocolate and things like that. Just try and get a little bit more of the chocolate complexities out of it. Anyways, I'm just rambling. Let's go ahead, get those glasses and get those beers into a glass, and I'll share them with you. Okay, so here we go. Starting off on the left, here is the Citra IPA. The recipe is loosely based on the Zombie Dust clone. There was a few minor tweaks in the grain bill, but it pretty much followed the entire Citra regime for the hops. It's got a beautiful, nice citrusy aroma, as you would expect. Taste is really, really nice. Clean, crisp, hint of sweetness, and citrusy. I mean, it's a beautiful beer. I can't. I need somebody else to come in and review this, but at least I thought I would share them with you, and you can kind of see what they're like. Here is the Oktoberfest. Not very different in color, actually, compared to the IPA, but quite nice indeed. Very sort of spring meadow sort of aroma. Got sort of that really heavy German Pilsner sort of taste to it. It's not heavy, but grassy, sort of meadowy, springtime. You just sort of laid back, crisp, clean, absolutely just, it's nice and dry with just a hint of sweetness. Very, very nice. Here's the Little Bastard. This one comes in at 6.5%. So not quite as low as the 4.7 Little Bastard that Stone is selling, but littler than Arrogant Bastard. So there it is. Okay, not so much on the aroma right now. Sort of died down, but it is a couple months old. Cheers. It's got that really nice malty bitterness that Arrogant Bastard has. All Chinook. It's right up there. 75 IBUs. Just beautiful. Not really bitter, but it's got that bite to it. And then sort of just hits you in the back and fades away. Ready for the next sip. That's definitely one of my go-to beers on a Friday night, Saturday night. You know, IPA is great, but I know that if I have too many of them, then I get that palate fatigue, and so I'll have maybe an IPA, and then I want to switch it up and get that sort of malty kick, and I'll have a couple of these, and that will just satisfy me. That's a great beer. I really, really like that one very, very much. All right, so the Supercharger. You can see this one is the least clear of them all. I didn't gelatin this one. Didn't do any clarifying agents. Just a Warflock tablet like usual. It's really got that nice fruity aspect of it going on, with a slight hint of that dankness just coming in. Gives you a little bit of assertiveness, and finishes off with a light, if you can say it, a light dry sweetness, but it's more like a sweet dryness, and then it just fades away and goes away. Fruity, citrusy. You know how you drink IPAs and there's like a very specific order that you should drink them in, whether you want to do the fruity ones first, and then work your way up to whether it's going to be citrusy or tropical, and then the really raunchy sort of dank ones, or is it vice versa? Sometimes I'll drink them in the wrong order and you think, oh, this one tastes better, and then the next day you drink them in the other order and you say, oh, well, no, that one tastes better. You know what I mean? Or is that just confusing? I don't know. All very nice. I'm happy with every single one of them. Oh, and of course the oatmeal stout. Here it is, the oatmeal stout that I brewed up with Andrew. Yeah, it's got a nice sort of medium beige head on it, and just very dark. The head on it, I do get some chocolate and just a hint of coffee. It's nice. It's just, it's not like overwhelming. Whoa! So it's kind of nice to have something that, you know, is, like I said, like a base. Let's go ahead and dive in. Cheers. It's got a light medium mouthfeel on it. So that's probably something I'm going to change. Next time, I'll probably mash it closer at 67 instead of 66, maybe 67 and a half. Give it a little bit thicker body. I get the chocolate, I get the coffee, and really that's kind of about it. Then it, you know, it goes back and it finishes with a dry finish. It's a nice, easy drinker. Came in at 7.1%. You wouldn't know it. I don't get any alcohol on the tasting notes. But there it is. So these are the beers that I've been brewing. That's kind of what I've been up to. Brewing plans in the future. Got a free day to brew tomorrow. Not sure what I'm going to brew yet, though. I've been thinking I'd like to do sort of experiments with the salts specifically and the different pH ranges. So, you know, I'm willing to throw a batch away and do like a hoppy pale ale on one end of the spectrum with like low minerals, high pH, and then on the other end of the spectrum like high minerals with low pH, and sort of compare them, or even have a third one somewhere in between, trying to find that happy medium sweet spot. yeah, it's all sort of about the water experiments these days, and trying sort of to prove the, walk the walk. Don't just talk the talk, but walk the walk. So it's all about doing that. Yeah. I definitely don't want to get stuck in a rut and be one of those guys that are just brewing the same beer over and over and over again. And yeah, Sarah from Daft Cat Brewing put out a challenge in the last couple of weeks about getting people to brew different beers that they've or different styles of beers that they've never brewed before, and just sort of broaden their horizons. If you like a specific beer that you brewed, I like that idea. Brew that same beer again, but use different yeasts. Broaden your horizons. Get out there and try different things. Do it. Just do it. I don't know where I'm going with that, but. Oh. Feeling optimistic. Feeling optimistic. Alright, that's enough of that. Let's go ahead and put this one down. Okay, so I'm going to find a place to splice this in. Let me go ahead. So I went to Seattle, right? I had to go to Seattle at the end of February for work. And I met up with some old Navy buddies while I was there. And had a fantastic time. And I got like the gift of a lifetime. So when I was there, Todd Oshie, thank you very much for sharing this with me. He went ahead and gave me this guy, Consecration. Russian River Consecration. This is unbelievable, unprecedented. Thank you so much, sir. And not just this beer, but he also gave me a local. This one's called the Admiral. This was from a local brewery there in Seattle. Yeah, called Fremont Brewing. I've had like a couple of their IPAs, a sister, little sister, brother, or something like that. Those are really, really nice. This one is a limited release. It's a bourbon barrel-aged winter ale. So really looking for some special occasions to crack these open with. And yeah, what can I say? It's just, thank you so, so much, Todd. I really, truly appreciate this. I'm going to save these for a really special occasion, like I said. Now, Todd did tell me that one, the Consecration, does taste a little bit like this guy, the Lost Abbey, the Red Poppy. Now, I've had this one because I can get this one locally from time to time. It's every now and then. So yeah, really looking forward to sort of compare those. And maybe we'll do a side-by-side someday and let you know which one I prefer the best. Yeah, we'll see. Get back to this guy. It's like apple pie. It really, really is. Like a fresh apple pie. Wow. Really crisp. That's it, man. You're digging into the apple pie, and it's just before, that taste, just before you take that vanilla ice cream in afterwards. It's that hot apple pie. Beautiful. That's a very interesting flavor. Hats off to you, Christian. Wow. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for Homebrew Wednesday. We'll see what I end up brewing. Who knows? I'll try and keep you updated. With that, I bid you a farewell. I hope you're having a hell of a week. And have a better weekend. Cheers.